Welcome to BleedTV, the only podcast, Dave's Best Shows and Movies. I'm Zach.
And I'm Cash.
Tonight we got Badlands, or should I say Into the Badlands. This was Season 3, Episode 5, Carry Tiger to Mountain.
I'm not digging it. I'm going to be honest with you. I think we
I ain't
sliced
carrying
that.
shit to the mountain. This title, I'm sorry, man.
It's bad.
As much as I love this show, some of these titles are god-awful.
I think we sliced the two out and just have Carry Tiger Mountain and
Yeah.
on the money.
So I'm guessing now,
Henry's the tiger. Yeah.
Okay.
If you say so.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I'm okay with the animal references and different things and stuff, but
Well, hey,
what has Henry done to get the tiger?
I don't know. Well, as our boy Bandon on YouTube has said, this is supposed to be the Sun Wukong's tale, his journey through the West and everything, and he can transform into a tiger. So maybe this is an extension of that.
Okay.
Best I can do for you. Little
Wow.
Chinese mythology.
Wow.
Hey.
I mean, you talking about throwing a hook out there with no bait and hoping somebody bites? Wow.
That's all I got. For the title for Henry.
I think we just need to get away from the title because every more I look at it and read it, I'm just like, it makes my eye twitch a little bit.
I don't even think I have a line on my hook. I think I literally just threw the hook in.
Great as this show is at times, and most of the time, I say, why do they? I mean, it's like you're unloading a pistol into your foot with 9 titles. I mean, who throws this at the wall and goes, "Damn, that works. That's great."
That was smooth. No way a 4-year-old came up with that one, right? Oh yeah, they're gonna love it.
All right. Anyway, so overall opinion of the episode.
Yet again, amazing fighting. I think I really enjoyed this episode, minus MK. I just can't figure out what we're doing with him.
Well,
and I really enjoyed seeing we have a true villain. In my opinion. Other people might disagree a little bit, but I'm excited to see what you think.
The episode was good. However, it created some flaws that you can't
write yourself out of.
You can't write yourself out of. You know what I mean? Like when we do Walking Dead and we bitch and fuss because we're like, okay, you create the rules to break the rules constantly with zombies and walkers and so on, and it just the continuity is just all over the map and it's shit. This one, on multiple occasions, by way they've done the storyline or created things, it creates a problem that's not possible. And I can understand if you're just moving away from an old storyline to create a new one to make it work, but for your customer, your viewer, who is in depth and in love and everything you've done,
sees all the angles and everything,
right? It is, and it's all a part of that. Sees it, and you're like, wait a minute, what? You can't. No, that doesn't work. And so a good example was right out of the gate of this episode. The widow is driving back. They hear a thump in the car. They come out, and there's Chow. Okay. And he gets out there and goes, hey, Minerva, and calls her by her real name.
Yeah, and we're like, how do you know?
Right, so then it gives you a backstory where she was a servant for Chow. And I'm like, wait a minute.
How have we never known this?
Time out. To my understanding, she was being trained, with the abbots and... the dark arts and the eyes and all that kind of stuff like that. When did she end up becoming
when did she
servant for Chow?
So apparently this is what led her to be going to the monastery, I guess, and unleashing her gift.
In the monastery, she was younger.
Yeah, she was.
This was prior. So to me, this was the timeline's like, wait a minute. And so for her to be as feeble as they made this, as her character, as the servant for Chow, that's a big bridge.
Yeah.
A bridge where you can't see the other end and you really don't want to know if you want to walk on it. And that's just, to me, this was like, all right, we need to find a way for these two to have a relationship for him to trust him. And we did this all in one episode with 2 minutes of flashbacks.
Yeah. And he was able to get into this vehicle without them knowing and everything. That's...
Yeah. So that right there was set up a huge red flag for me. Okay. And it bothered me because that just doesn't... Because they showed Minerva and how badass she was with weapons, swords, all that stuff as a younger child before a servant. I know she might have had her powers taken from her and so on, but I was always alluded that was later.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like she's had a taste for the gift. She knows like that song.
She didn't lose it when she was a child.
I was a child, right? So to me, when they show her sitting here as a servant, that doesn't match with what they've given. They have never definitively said what, but it doesn't match with what they've put out there already.
Yeah.
So then, that bothered me a little bit. I was like, okay. So then, of course, he puts Chow, and
Well, how about the bareness? How sick she is? How excited she got when she got to give Minerva these lashes, like the smile on her face and everything.
Yeah,
and also a hard wooden stick isn't going to create the lash marks that they're talking about. I was like, I had a huge problem with that.
Well, yeah,
because I mean, it was like she was getting hit with a whip versus just a hard stick. Like they didn't even.
Yeah,
like,
that was a little off.
But okay,
okay, that was more stomachable.
Yeah,
that's the word. Than this whole premise that they have a child life together. Like maybe they really liked each other and friends and the whole 9 yards.
We had something a little bit more than friendly. Okay, whatever. You're both 10. Shut up, guys.
Exactly. Yeah. So to me, it was a little bit of a cheap way to give them an old connection.
Yes.
It was a little much. So they go inside. He's inside the jail cell. He gives her the description of what the knife was.
No mercy.
Right. It on it? Gives him a little bit of a, okay, I know this, and I trust.
Which also, can this guy not be thrown in a cage?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
what a shitty life he's
two
had.
episodes and he's jail life.
Yeah.
I mean, a thug life for life,
Is this MK's old room? Is that no? Because this is a completely MK at least had a bed, was able to have people come and go as he pleases.
Yes. All right. So here comes my next problem. They've got his clothes and he's disheveled. He has a wound on his belly.
Yes.
Okay.
And
this is from Castor, who sliced him across the gut.
Yep.
Okay. So that was a slice across the gut. Let's not forget that Castor impaled the man.
Yes.
With a
through the
shoulder and chest area. Threw him completely to the point where he looked like he was dead on the floor.
He was on the handle.
When he comes out of that car, he's clutching his stomach. When he is in the jail cell, he has a wound exposed on his stomach only. No wound in his upper body.
No continuity.
Nothing. This was a huge, what the F moment.
It's I had to go back and watch the other episode just to make sure I wasn't going crazy.
A slash across the belly didn't even affect him when he was fighting.
No.
He gets impaled by a sword, and he's down for the count. And then you're going to make it where the only wound you see is the stomach? Complete continuity failure. Complete, holy crap. This is where, guys, we have 16 episodes.
Yeah.
There's no reason to rush this character's development of the past.
We've got plenty of time to build it.
By the time this episode's over, he's already fighting and going at it and stuff. That arm would be useless. Yeah. He would be in a sling recovering for weeks from being impaled by a sword.
And let him rebuild that connection with the widow and everything instead of just diving into it. Give us a reason.
It made, like I said, the timeline, holy mackerel, it's way so fast.
Yeah, slow it down a bit. Let us, because we have no reason to believe that Gaius is this ultimate warrior. Yes, he's been hyped up as this and everything, but he hasn't won a fight. I mean,
the other thing, so far on screen, which don't get me wrong, I like the actor.
Yeah, and his moves are phenomenal.
Yeah, is it Louis Tan?
Yeah.
The whole 9 yards. But so far, other than sneaking up on people, he gets his ass kicked by Castor.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Rightfully so. Gets out of the car, almost gets his ass kicked by Widow. And then, what he does is given a sword post non-impaling wound. He gets into a fight and gets his ass kicked by the new regent we haven't seen from her brother.
Well, assuming the guy who took his post.
Right. So far, we're almost 0 for 3 in badassness. Come on, Al. Miles, you get this guy a break. We get a fight where he wins one.
Give him a one-on-one. Nice little. Give him
he got his ass saved by Moon.
Odessa is out here kicking ass and taking names. All right.
I mean, yeah.
Our boy Gaius needs a W.
I mean, come on.
He's living in cages.
The confidence level is down right now.
Give him an easy one, So
anyway, yeah. Pilgrim shows up to Chow's place, ballsy.
Yes.
Rolls the heads out, almost gets a strike. 7 in with a spare. That's what it looked like on the end.
Really, ready bowling wise now.
Yeah, you gotta throw those out there when you get a chance.
I mean,
look, when you have the bowling physique such as I do, you know what I mean.
Hey, amateur. When you rock it.
Yeah.
But also, how about these severed heads? And
they look the real deal.
Yeah,
kudos.
Like into the neck, like there's the indention, like where you take out like the vertebrae.
Look,
they went full 9.
Props to the prop master. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, there's just several shows that we've done, and we've actually got the interview of some of the guys who do special effects.
Scott Tolan.
No, yeah, I remember when we did Tolan for Outsiders and some of the stuff he did. I mean, like these guys, they go all out, and their stuff is legit. So kudos to the FX team because those heads rolling around, it looked really good.
No heads were rolling after the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Oh man,
okay. This is where we need that drum cue. Anyway, yeah. All right, so Chow is surrounded by 60 jokers, and it's Pilgrim and what?
Kristen. Pilgrim
and Castor, and
he's probably about under 10 people.
Under 10 people. Yeah.
And I felt confident with Pilgrim. Like, I love Pilgrim. Like, I thought I was going to miss. Wow, I've completely blanked on his name. Lydia's old husband.
Or Quinn?
Yeah, I thought I was going to miss Quinn a lot more. But Pilgrim has come in and taken over.
Well, he's filled the void. There's no doubt there.
And he's doing a phenomenal job, and we have a reason to fear him.
Yeah. All right, so do you agree with Chow, with the whole I need 1,000 workers, and Chow's like cowers to him immediately?
I'm okay with it just because he's already taken over her camp. What was that, back in episode 2? He took it with no losses and everything. She needs somebody to team up against the Widow. And so why fight 2 battles when you can only fight if you
I'm just talking about
one?
In this part right here. You're surrounded by 60 of your own clippers. And you're pretty formidable yourself. And there's less than 10 in front of you. So odds-wise are pretty much in your favor. Were you surprised there wasn't a battle here?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I really just because we know so much about him and everything. I mean, I just put that into it of why she just immediately cowered.
Right.
And if you see someone throwing your brother's heads, like, his best people who were your best people, I'm just going to go ahead and give that guy whatever he wants.
Gotcha.
Because you're not going to win it.
I hear you. All right. So we have a cutaway where you see Sonny and Baji. They're walking and they're chatting, and then he turns and they show what looks is Vulture's Peak. Now this mountain, kudos to the special effects on it. It definitely does look like a bird of prey, vulture, whatever like that. That was pretty cool. That mountain is a good long ass away based on this shot.
Yes. So a week's walk.
Yeah, it was a good clip. So that was kind of something unique there. Let's just go ahead and dive into this whole little scenario here. They are still walking. They're still talking. They're going through a blizzard. Okay. Mm-hmm. Got Henry in the knapsack in the back. They're getting there.
Nice and toasty.
Nice and toasty. I get it. There was a few little spots where you're walking through a blizzard and it looks pretty bad, but then when they do a close-ups of them, the blizzard's not so bad.
No.
And then it goes back to a scene where they're walking and the blizzard's real bad. And then it goes
should have just avoided the close-ups.
Yeah, it was a little off on a few of those spots. I took a picture of one where you can see it's a little different. So anyway, we get to a plain in the middle of what looks to be the Arctic in this blizzard area. And this is the witch's lair. And he makes a snarky comment, of all places to live, What did you think of the plane and the living quarters here?
I thought they did a phenomenal job on the inside of it. I mean, they made it all practical.
Yeah, you know what? To me, I appreciated that they decided to go away from what's stereotypical.
Yeah.
You're thinking of a witch, you're thinking of a cave, you're thinking very dark, can't see nothing, the whole 9 yards. Instead, we've got Con Air after it's landed in the Arctic. The only thing missing is Nick Cage back there drunk on the in the back of the airplane.
Well, I mean,
instead you got Christmas lights everywhere, a nice little place. Did you notice the inside of the plane looked like it had been snowed in just as well as the outside of it?
Yes, I was noticing that.
Obviously, it's pretty dang cold in there. Didn't see any of the actors breathing, white air or anything like that.
Didn't catch any of that.
So little details here and there, But that for this show, that's not a big deal.
But where'd they get their change of clothes? Because Baji's in something like completely different now, and it's nice, heavy clothing. It looks great. I have no idea when they came upon it.
Yeah.
But
all right, so the witch gets involved. They meet her. They go through the whole deal. They look at the baby. You brought a dark one here, and they ask for help. And so she decides to do so. And the coolest scene of the entire episode is putting baby Henry underwater.
Yes,
this was so well done. Creepy as hell. My wife and I were like, "Oh my God, get that baby out of the water!" It was a cool effect because it was like looking through a water filter. The baby was never in the water.
No.
You could tell if you looked hard enough.
There was no harm.
Yeah, there was no chance of anything like that. Really cool special effects to see like the black stuff coming
was
off
like
of
ink, like going through water.
Exactly.
And everything.
It's like venom dissolving in the water. And that was pretty sweet. I liked that she put his hand in the glow and then put the hand on Sonny.
Yes, it was like the abbots and everything.
All that was pretty sweet.
Now she said, I'm trying to figure out what this power is now because seeing it come out of his body and everything, but she said she didn't get rid of it.
No, she said it was basically like putting a Band-Aid on something. It's not a permanent fix. You need somebody more powerful than I am to help Henry to what you need.
Yeah.
And then in the Discovery, she mentions that he is the catalyst.
Yeah. But I want to ask about the power real quick. Do you think Henry will now not be as strong as he once could have been? Do you think she took his max away, or he's going to be able to just regrow all of that?
I think she just suppressed his symptoms, is the way I look at it.
Okay.
What was causing him distress, and, it looked like he was ill, was taking over his body too young.
It was like he was overflowing, and she took out all that excess.
Like he was so powerful that, it was killing the baby.
Yeah.
Kudos. I mean, the baby actor, the whole 9 yards.
Kudos for using a baby.
I mean, it was good.
But now we found out Sonny does have the gift.
Yes,
it's just been locked by probably the most powerful person.
Right. So this is another one of my little issues. The very first season, nobody knows anything about Azra. Nobody knows anything about a person with the black eyes, the gift, the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
And then by the second season, the
Minerva
exposes that she used to have it.
Yeah.
And that Baji used to have it. And we met the abbots, who are the people who are trying to train us.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the rarity of it. This season, we've got more and more black-eyed, dark ones.
Yeah.
And now Sonny has it, and
which we've always kind of underlined thought Sonny had the gift.
Yeah, but does he have to have it? I mean, to me, it's very convenient that he does. To me, it's very convenient.
Well, I mean, either he had to have it or she had to have it.
I always appreciated that he wasn't one and was badass enough to be able to hold his own.
Well, he didn't hold his own. He gets anyone with it, though.
Well, yes and no. Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. And that's what makes the show good, is they keep it grounded and real and everything else. And so my biggest fear now is that Sonny gets activated to where he's one. And basically the show turns into the Battle of the Black Eyes.
Yeah. And MK's supposed to be the strongest, most untapped. And we've already discovered that Sonny is, yet again,
in the same episode, we see he can control his own gift without cutting himself. He's the most powerful we've seen. Oh, wait a minute. No, there's the catalyst. We must,
But also, this takes me back to, how did the abbots not realize that Sonny had the gift? How did the abbots miss out on Sonny? they've had him twice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, they've even put their hands on him and did the glowing thing. They
Correct.
should have known.
True. I mean,
So, like, I mean, that's a huge plot hole from the last season, and we still haven't seen the freaking Abbotts.
yeah.
We're over halfway through with the first half of the season. How have we just...
I don't know. I don't know if we will. I mean, they're just kind of dancing around that whole scenario.
I mean, we've got to, though, don't we?
Well, I mean, most of them were killed because they turn to black eyes, which you have no, discernment of who you kill when you do that.
Yeah. But they control when they're in the black eyes.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's inconsistencies with several little parts. Like you said, MK suddenly being able to turn it on and off as he wants to. Was, there's just a lot of new things.
I mean, we'll get to MK.
Yeah, to me, when they talk about Sonny now being the most vital Dark Eye individual, it's hyper convenient.
Yes.
It's just very hyper convenient. Oh,
It wasn't
you happen
needed.
to find this guy at a mine named Baji. Oh, he happens to be a former abbot. Oh, he used to have the black eye and the dark heart. Oh, he also used to be Minerva's trainer
Hey,
and the widow.
Baji has not been the point of convenience for 2 episodes. Like, that's not...
Well, hey, where two rivers meet, I know somebody who can, that does something like that. Oh, by the way, she also is the pilot of a boat. Oh, this boat looks just like the one where you have a vision where you got your head zapped and you lose your black arc is controlled. Oh, by the way, it's your ex-wife. And oh, by the way, the opening credits of the show shows Baji's name, Nick Frost, and it's a boat on the water.
I haven't caught that one yet.
I mean. Yeah, when you watch the opening credits, I made a point on here that it's just, it's very vivid. They're awesome. It's well done. But it's also slap. What visualize me getting hit with,
over the head with...
Take it. This is what it's going to be. Baji is the key to everything, And then when the witch is like, it's destiny. It's,
like, he got so upset and everything. Like, I sent the message. And this, like, didn't they answer? Hold on. Let me show you. And he automatically knows Morse code. I mean, I'm assuming that's
he reads the whole deal, and then it comes to find out, yeah, you called, and Pilgrim answered, and he's coming here, and he's going to burn this place down and start it over in the God of Osra.
I thought I was calling the good guys.
Yeah.
You called the exterminator, the fixer. And so, do we think Sonny's going to join up with Pilgrim, or do you think he's going to fight Pilgrim?
Well, here's the deal. Pilgrim has not defined...
If he's good or bad.
What his overall goal, if he's good or bad. To me, he's like, in the episode, he talks about where he's the catalyst and, he must be welcomed as brother and open arms, And so to me, he's never shown killing people unless they are against him in what his cause is.
Yes.
He doesn't seek out war. Anybody who prevents his war or where he's going, they
don't
get dealt
stand
with.
in his way. Yeah.
Exactly. And so... I just don't know,
And so
there's
maybe
no
that's
defined,
why we've seen...
Yeah, there's not a defined bad guy to me. Chow, she's the bad guy. But the reality of it is that she's not bad because she's incapable.
Well, I think Cressida, I think she's the bad guy. Because she's got a completely different vision. I mean, was it Castor? When they're talking and everything, he's like, no, we're not going to throw him away. He is a person. He is this. She's like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get this guy off.
Right.
And the way she's able to convince him to go sacrifice himself, not even talk to Pilgrim anymore, that's an evil person.
Yeah. Right now, she's the only person who's really stepping out there to do the bidding, no matter whatever cost.
There is no cost to her.
Right.
That she will
so
not pay.
I'll give you that part. 100%. And of course, like I said, Castor became a big deal this episode, and where he meets Chow's people, and cool little line. He's like, I'm here to lead you. And
before that though, we have like him, Nix, and MK, and
that's where Castor gets all bent out of shape. I've been replaced, and
exactly. It's just like, why do we have to make every female a love interest for MK?
Don't get me wrong, homeboy's got some good looks, I guess, but anytime he's got a female character, there's a tension.
Yeah, I didn't see the need for this.
I don't know. I guess you have to show some care, concern, so trust is established. I get that, but yeah, again, a little heavy-handed.
Yeah.
A little heavy-handed.
Well, okay. And then, like, I mean, I just wanted, because, like, I wanted your thoughts on it just because I'm like, man, I'm tired of MK just falling in love with the first thing that moves.
Well, MK has turned into the most gullible and easy motivational switching character there is.
Yeah, put a pretty girl and then just say, hey, we think you're important. And he's licking it up.
Yeah, I mean, he is a dry sponge, and she is throwing ooze out there right and left, and he just can't help himself to absorb it. I mean, it's just...
Wow. That's,
was it deep?
Yeah, those were
does that need to be on a postcard? I can
I think that's Hallmark. I think you just took it out of the grave and just rose it right back.
Oh, my God.
Head to your nearest Hallmark store, ladies.
That's correct. BleedTV, your Valentine stop, yes.
The dry sponge.
Yeah, tell your spouse that. Anyway, so Castor gets sent, and he has, he tells the new regent we've met that, I'm here to lead. They come in, and we have a pretty cool little fight scene setting up. You also have a scene where the scouts have figured out and told the widow that a group of Chow's people have gone into Sector 12, and that's the refugee camp. She decides to send help that way and give Chow a blade and Moon to go help him out.
We need all the help we can get.
All we get. Oh, by the way, Moon. Sherman Augustus. Guys, Sherman Augustus will be joining us on the podcast. We're going to be having a chat with him tomorrow night and discussing the show, his career, what he's brought. I couldn't tell you how excited we are. I mean, like, I've kind of got goosebumps. We have been chatting with him back and forth here and there. So far, he seems like one of the most down-to-earth cats we've ever spoke to. This is going to be a great experience.
Yeah, we can't be excited to get a little bit behind the scenes of the show, talking about all the fighting and everything, the scenery. It's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't wait. So if you're listening, make sure you're looking, because I believe Thursday or Friday we'll have another podcast out special fully on Sherman, talking about Badlands and all the other stuff going on, and I think you're going to be really, really enjoy it.
Right before Memorial Day. So,
there you go. And there you go.
Whatever you do, you're going to be in town. You're going to
tell
be
your friends,
away.
Listen in. Our job here at BleedTV, one of the things we do, whenever we get to speak to cast, crew, members, anything like that, we want to promote them. We want their people to know who they are, what they stand for, what they bring to the table for the show, TV, television, and that is where you come in, listen, understand who they are, and tell your friends about it so we can help this actor, the person who works on the show, achieve more. And today that is the greatest paycheck when it comes to helping others. And so when y'all listen in, make sure you're sharing, make sure you like it. If you even get a positive review on it, anything that gives it more notoriety to be able to be seen by more people, that helps the actor. Of course, it does help us a little bit, just be straight with you and everything else. But so when you be looking for that, we hope you all really enjoy it. But as going back to the show, they tell Moon gives them a sword, and they go to help. Well, when they get there, it's Tilda and our favorite
Odessa. Look, I'm riding with Odessa after this episode.
Look, the bottom line is Odessa, like I said before, is the only meme I've ever seen that says where if she dies, we celebrate. And people are like cold with Odessa. So we get the infamous kiss, which,
they're back in love. Cool.
Yeah, back in love. That's great. MK Who. That's the first thing I thought of.
Honestly, I completely forgot he was a character in the moment, and I was okay with it. Now, at this point, the meme has changed for me. If MK dies, we celebrate.
Yes. So we hear screaming, people running. We see Chow's people, killing some, even though they're supposed to be collecting workers.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what
it was a little inconsistent, but I mean, I guess you got to kill people who'd fight back. You got to kill a few to make the other ones fall in line.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I'll go with that. But then Castor shows them on a pretty badass bike.
Yeah, it looks like Sonny's old bike.
It looks like a bike that was just recently made. It was very new, shiny, impressive,
up to date.
Which
also, this is also like my favorite style of motorcycle. If I ever do get one, it's going to be one like this.
Yes, it was pretty sweet. So he puts his blades on into the handlebars and he's driving around.
Well,
and
I thought he was just holding on to him.
He was.
Okay.
That was great for the first guy he sliced. But when he started doing these little swerving dips and people are standing there waiting for the sword to come across them, I got a little annoyed.
It's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's either going to drop this blade or wreck.
Yeah, right? And then he does this whole little circle thing where he's spinning around him and he still kills one. Okay, to me, there is a huge difference is when you're doing a circle, I don't care if it's 15 feet and so on, you're not having enough velocity of you moving around to slice through someone's chest and have an arterial spray that looks like you have done a cleaver at the hardest swing possible.
Yes.
It's
not going to happen.
It looked a little off. It did not match some of the...
Well, and they had these problems too because when he was riding to the camp, we have this close-up. It looks like he's going very fast.
Correct.
And then we do the fatal zoom out, and he's going maybe 15 miles an hour.
Yeah. So you got to be really careful with those kind of shots, and... I don't know.
And I was getting that vibe when he was going around in circles again.
It just didn't come out well on film on this part. To me, I think it'd been really cool. He slices one guy, gets off the bike, and then does what he does.
Mm-hmm.
The numerous deaths and the spinning around people and cutting their chest open with you barely going by them.
Rode it too long.
You rode that pony until it was ashes and dust and no bones left, and it was just unnecessary.
Yeah, and it didn't look good, but. We did get a cool payoff with Tilda coming out, and I love a switch of weapon.
Yeah, Tilda rocks out. Love her outfit. I love the new trench coat instead of the orange shoulder pad look.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. The only thing missing. God, I wish I had that.
The mask.
The mask, man. Golly, I hate they got
away from it. You can't wear it and make out with Odessa, so I mean...
Yeah, no, it's like wearing a face chastity belt. It doesn't quite work. It just...
But no, I mean, she could have strapped it on somewhere in this.
Easy.
Whoa, calm down.
We're trying to keep this PG-13 over there.
I know where your mind's going. Get that thing out of the gutter.
Jesus. Wow, Cash.
We're going to leave that alone.
Yes, you are.
Put the mask on somewhere before coming out. How about that?
Oh, my God.
My goodness, man.
Anyway, now I'm watching the show in my mind, and that's just a terrible image. But anyway, all right. Somebody else who's over in the fight department here recently is Tilda. Last couple ones, she's got her ass whipped.
In fairness, she's gone up against Moon, who he's pretty much undefeated against everybody not named.
He's borderline undefeated minus Widow.
And Sunny. So
Sunny, that's last season. That don't count.
Oh, okay.
So she gets in the exchange. Castor kicks her good enough that she flies across, goes through the door, lands pretty tough, and they're in the train car.
Yes, and I've always been wondering why these train car ceilings were so high, because they're usually pretty flat, but you can tell inside they're like a house.
Correct.
They're raised and they have nothing over the middle. Well, it was so they could use full-length swords inside of these train cars.
It worked out. It looked good. I love the little fight scene in there and everything, and I really like the explosion that happened while they were in there.
Yes.
Because the way Tilda flew and he flew was pretty effing cool.
Looked great.
One of the best special effects scenes of this episode was that explosion and so on.
And we have the fire crossbow going into it, piercing. Loved it. Right. I was like, this is what we needed for the entire episode.
Correct. Now, we get another scene of Castor turning the gift off.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we think... Because he doesn't turn it back on.
He doesn't turn it back on, so does
But also, didn't he turn it on without necessarily cutting himself?
He did get cut.
Okay.
Like it shows him bleeding from his cheek again. I went back and double checked that. He did. All right. So then you also, like I said, you also have Chow's brother, running around, and he's fighting the other regent, getting his ass whipped cool when he flashes that stuff.
He gets a few licks in and everything, but ultimately, he does.
Moon sets up, and Odessa comes in there, and basically are like, "Bitch, bring it!" And he runs away like the littlest girl you've ever seen in your life. It's kind of like it's got a little hippity hop as he's going as he runs, like he's never ran before.
I mean, if I'm staring down those three, I probably would have had a little bit of an odd run.
To me, it's a little bit of a backpedal.
Yep.
But the turn and run like, "Ooh, mommy, I want candy at the candy store over there. Can we go? Can we go? Can we go?" That's what it made me feel like he was doing.
Yeah.
The way he was running over there like, "Woo, I'm so excited."
Man, that's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But not the,
It was as bad as the Charlie's Angels cheese moment we had with all three of them.
Oh, yeah, I got that picture where all three of them are like, "Oh, yeah," right next to each
like
other.
Fighting says, give a look at each other. All right, let's go our separate ways. I was like,
yeah.
Did we have to bring this back?
No,
if you roasted it, okay.
I'm not roasting it because the reality of it is that they came in to help him. It wasn't like they all converged at the same time, like, "Look at us."
I don't know, man. With how hard you and Jake roasted it last season.
Whatever. Well, last season, it was very much, "We're all here. Let's go, Charlie."
Did you get the photo? Did we have our little background?
Right. Yeah. I mean, when you're slapping each other on the ass before you start a fight scene, that's Charlie Angels right there.
This time, if you just acknowledge, it's okay.
Right. This one that came close was just an eye wink.
Yeah, okay.
We're here. We're here.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
So they wrap that part up. A good little fight. He helps some folks out. Chow really don't get people. Castor, he's on the ground. And he gets knocked out.
Yep.
To me, I was a little surprised because he was an unstoppable monster when we've seen him earlier. But why did his gift turn off so fast? Or we think because he's dying, he's losing his gift?
I think so, because it did last time. Because remember, his turned off before Nix's, like when we first met him.
Correct.
And I just don't think he can hold it anymore because he is sick, because he is dying, and it is escaping. Because it's probably one of those things, the more you use it, the faster it burns through your body and everything.
Right.
And I just don't think his body can maintain holding it for longer than a few minutes at a time now.
Right. So there was a scene where Pilgrim is trying to convince MK to stick around.
Yes.
And MK is like, "No, I need to go kill Sonny."
Tries to turn off the gift and everything. And did you think Pilgrim was going to be able to stop him? I'm glad he was.
Not initially.
Yeah, I didn't think he was.
But then when he got him on the little, the little raft and take him over there, and they show him this mining area where these are people working of their own free will and they're mining. Did you notice the two people who were like swinging the pickaxe like they were, Olay.
They had never worked a
wow. I mean,
in their life.
They were throwing that thing down, and it might have penetrated mud.
You're being kind, sir.
Yeah, I was just like, you gotta tell me when the guy was doing the editing that he didn't look at it and go, those two in the background during this scene are playing patty cake and not really doing the mining in the scene.
They're not really doing anything.
Don't get me wrong, your actors did phenomenal, but you two over there.
Swinging the pickaxe.
Put your back into it like you mean it.
Literally put your back into this thing.
Yeah.
Full body, get on those tiptoes, swing down.
Most people probably didn't even notice. I was just like, I swear, I have the worst habit now where, like, whenever you watch something with a big fight scene and there's stuff going on in the background. I'm looking at the background more. I look at the background now because ever since Braveheart won all those awards, and there's two big battle scenes where Mel Gibson is talking to somebody, and you look in the background, and there's literally people playing patty cake. I mean, literally tapping swords like they're playing tag in the back. It just makes you laugh. And ever since then, I'm always constantly looking in the background like, all right, what's Joe Blow doing back there,
Maybe they won't catch me on camera. We did. Yeah. You're there.
Yeah, you busted. But anyway, so Pilgrims tell them they're mining for something very precious and very powerful.
He makes it seem like they're mining Azra, essentially.
Yeah. Any guesses you think that what they're getting?
No. I literally think it's a buried city.
Completely clueless.
My best guess is a buried city.
No, I think they're looking for some kind of precious something that enhances their abilities.
But what this thing's massive.
Yeah, I don't know.
You think it'd at least be a concentrated if it was, and it's different levels.
Well, are we looking for something as a singular object? Are we looking for something that we put together? Or is it something you make out of raw material? I mean, it leaves it a very open-ended question.
Yeah, well, it doesn't look like it's a raw material because we don't see wheelbarrows of stuff, being shipped out.
Right. So I'm very curious. So I'm looking forward to more explanation on that.
And then
MK decided, is like, I'm probably still going to go.
But what speech do you have to hear to get you from leaving a poppy field to go and dig with pickaxes and hoes and everything?
This is a great question.
I want to hear that speech.
Because I'm going to give you salvation, and all you have to do is work twice as hard with a metal object.
Lifting a hell of a lot
digging
more
into
weight.
The ground and lifting it like that.
We may or may not have food. We're still working that part out.
Yeah,
your clothes are still just as dirty, if not dirty.
Pilgrim must be a heck of a closer.
Yeah,
the man has more than multiple talent, including the gift of gab.
Yeah,
or just a really well done pamphlet.
Ooh,
man.
I mean, that pamphlet did have a map. I don't remember if it was no, it wasn't even trifolded. It was a single sheet.
Yeah, impressive. Which they don't have copiers, so somebody.
Oh, that's a good point. They don't even have a printing press. This is.
Somebody nailed that drawing
over and over.
100-something odd times, throw it on the ground out
that
there.
man deserves a pay raise.
Absolutely. So he comes back and
great outfit.
We get him in Castor 2.0.
But I mean, that's a lot more vibrant of a red. He's got a little bit more gadgets.
It's better befitting.
Yes.
He doesn't look hobo-ish.
That's a good way to put it.
It
doesn't look like he's dying by overusing
it
or anything.
He's not bleeding from the ears on his outfit.
Yeah.
To where we get a flash scene of her painting blood on this big piece of canvas.
Immediately knowing it's Sonny's back.
Yeah. As soon as I saw, I was like, oh, this is really cool. I did really like this was a symbol of everything, and it had a discernible pattern. And all that, and that's been the visual of the show.
Yes,
with his tattoos. Cool way to tie that in. I really did like how they brought that in. I think it was well done. It's very befitting that MK was the one there to say, "I know what that is. I know who that is. That's the one who betrayed me."
The fact that he's still saying he's going to betray you. Sonny has no idea he killed your mom, MK.
We're not even sure if that's true.
Yeah. It's not like he's been going around this thing like, oh, let me raise you, let me do all this, and then I killed your mom. You were a kid.
Yeah, and here's the other part, is if he did kill his mother, then that's another gap in the story that doesn't quite align. Given, yes, the suppression and this.
Sonny looks the exact same in the flashback. That's the problem.
Yeah, so there's a little... and so we'll just have to see how that if that bird flies. But there's an argument. He's the catalyst. He's now the most powerful. MK, you've lost your title.
Yeah.
The short-lived title you had.
Yeah, we now again have no idea what your purpose on the show is.
Yeah.
I hope we figure it out. I really do.
So, and of course, Pilgrim's like, we're going to welcome him. He's a brother.
He's going to be here as a brother. He's super important.
Exactly. The catalyst. So now the catalyst has become the mainstay. What does that mean? How important is it? And so on. And that's the end of the episode. The only hashtag I'm going to throw out there right now is "Where's Waldo?"
Yeah, most important one.
I'm getting tired of this. It's 5 episodes. We've not seen Stephen Lang. We've seen his younger mini-me, but we have not seen Stephen Lang. The younger one was great. Even he was standing, not the guy I want. I want the guy sitting.
You want the guy in the wheelchair and everything.
I want that guy rolling and rocking.
Yeah, you want the gadgets and whatnot.
Right. So, damn it, where's Waldo? Anyway, but like I said before, episode overall, it does good. The plot lines move very well. I've enjoyed the new characters. I like the direction it's going. I do wish they would simplify and say who truly is the antagonist bad guy, because it's kind of blurred right now. But again, it's only 5 episodes in. I'm
going to go out on the limb. I'm going to say it is Crescenda or whatever her name is, if I'm butchering it. I do think that we move closer to her being a true villain.
Agree with that. Of anybody, she is manipulating things like a puppet in the background.
Yes.
To where it could have an alternate. It could have an alternate ego, or not ego, an alternate motivation.
Yeah. But like, let's slow it down a little bit. Let me want to root for Gaius and everything.
Yeah,
let's not, like, as you've been saying throughout, focus so much on conveniences. Let's just write in, like, why they have these reasons.
Let's make it where you got to work for it.
Yeah.
Well,
instead of just like being pop up, like, oh, we have a problem. I have a solution.
Yeah. Hey, guess what?
You
We
won't
pull out my
believe
Swiss
it.
Army knife of solutions here, and it's the second blade. Here it is.
It says right here on the third line.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do know this as a matter of fact. Like, come on.
Yeah. So
let's have some struggle with it a little bit.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's wrong with having a little? You've done a great job of setting up intrigue and mystery with several little phases of this. Let's make it where you have to work into it along with so that your storyline progresses.
Yes.
Not an easy, hey, we got to get from A to Z.
In
That's
20
going to take way
minutes.
too long. Yeah. And so, I've got B through X right over here. Fast track, you know.
Just
Scotty, beam us up.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like, just because we're on AMC, the same network with The Walking Dead, doesn't mean we have to make the same faux pas as
Exactly.
The Walking Dead.
Exactly. So, but again, that's a small wrinkle
Yes.
of this episode. Majority of it was well done.
Yet again, the fight scenes, we're not getting these anywhere else.
Yeah, so far nothing has topped Sherman Augustus Moon sawing a deck in half with his blade fighting Tilda. Nothing has topped that yet so far. To me, it's one of the coolest thing ever. If they had added a, through it with a little extra dust,
that would have been the only thing.
I still would have been standing up and pumping my fist.
Rule of Cool would have overridden it. Like, I would have been A-okay with it. Like,
there's no doubt.
but anyway, I think that's the episode.
Yeah, man, it was the episode. And, what's even better is, again, like we said earlier, can't wait till tomorrow, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're just pumping
Sherman.
everything, so keep a lookout before the weekend and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to have a special episode released for y'all, and then we should be back on our normal schedule of Mondays.
Yes,
coming up after that.
We should be. We've been bumped to Tuesday on a few personal things, but we're going to get it back together and get back on our normal schedule. But guys, other than that, don't forget, if you've got a minute, to give us a like on our BleedTV page on Facebook, or give us a positive review on iTunes. It doesn't take but a few clicks, and say, hey, great podcast. It really helps us. It expands our show. And it gets more listeners and viewers and all that stuff, and that's always a positive for us.
Absolutely. And please feel free to email us any questions you have for Sherman Augustus at BleedTVpodcast at gmail.com, or give us a tweet. Let us know what y'all want us to ask them.
Yeah,
we
if
would
there's something
love.
Specific, we'll be happy to try to sneak it in there and do it. But
like we said, we're doing this for y'all. So
yeah, absolutely. Guys, we're going to call it a night. This is BleedTV, and I'm Zach.
And I'm Cash.
And we'll see y'all next week.